Okay, hey guys, this is going to be a quick little tutorial video I'm doing for just kind of like a basic how to edit a video so that you can use it for platforms like TikTok or Hover, where the format is usually in a portrait style, where you use it normally on your phone, and so that the video looks a little bit better. Now, there are other tutorials out there, and I've been doing editing for myself just for a few years here, so this is going to be really basic, really bare bones type of tutorial. I use a program called DaVinci Resolve, as you can see up here. It is a free program. They do have a paid version, but this is what's considered kind of a more complicated or complex software. But if you put in the time to learn how to use it, and there are a bunch of tutorials online, a bunch of great creators out there that will teach you how to do every little thing. If you put the time in, it has so many good tools and so many things that you can do. So we're going to go right into it and start a new project here. And I'm going to skip this little update here. And basically the first thing you want to do is actually get the media that you want in here. This is pretty much the first step of any editing, where you actually bring in the audio that you want from your device, whatever it might be. The one that I'm going to be doing today is, let's do this one, the Minecraft WTF. We're going to change, now this is just asking me if I want to change the frame rate. I usually default to change because you don't want your project frame rate to be different from the actual footage that you captured. Now this is, you have your master content here. This is only maybe a few seconds long. And then you drag it down to this area. This is the cut area here. And depending on the program that you use, this might be a lot less complicated, but there are just going to be a couple of things that I want to focus on here as far as making a video for TikTok or Hover. So normally for a video, you drag this down here, right? And you have your video. It's a pretty short video, and I get blown up there. Now you will see sometimes there's a little bit of lag in the video. That happens sometimes when you're watching it right away because you're able to drag back and forth and you're able to seek through here. Now that we're still on the cut portion, but what's really important is that you want to actually make it so that you have a few layers of the same exact video before we do any kind of cutting, zooming, putting clips in or inserting pictures or anything like that. What I want to do is I want to have one layer for my background, one layer, oops, that's the timeline. So you want to drag it from the main, this is the timeline here. So you want to drag it again from the same source here. Another layer, boom, that's going to be for my actual gameplay, which is going to be focused on the middle of the screen here. Then another one. Now, if you have it where it's kind of hard to add it, you could always just manually add a track here. You want to click on this little thing here, add a track. That adds a third track. Add a third track here for your face cam. And you could even go as far as adding a fourth one. Now, this is really if you want to focus on adding something like maybe you want to highlight a logo or you want to highlight another part of the video somewhere, maybe even the chat. So I have 4 layers of the exact same footage here, and they all sync up. They're all in line. I know it might look a little bit at first like right here it's out of sync, but it's usually fine as long as you line everything up in the beginning here. That's fine. Another quick tip that I do is I usually mute every single other track. You don't want to layer too many sounds on top of each other because it actually does get louder. So it's just another side note that I learned a lot of the time. There is, I think, a way to drag video without the audio, but it's a little more complex and you don't even have to worry about it. You could just literally mute the tracks and it just mutes every single track. So going on from that, now what you want to do is you want to find the area where it actually changes the format of the video. So that's going to be up here. As you can see, this is Ultra HD. I don't use that. Full HD is the normal 1920 by 1080. That's what most people will be recording with on a regular screen. But we're going to be doing a portrait style. So as you can see, when I click this, it makes it into the portrait style video, but then your video is very squished. When you make a video like this and you put it on TikTok, it's fine, but it's harder to see details. You could barely see your face cam sometimes, even if your face cam is kind of large. Everything is just centered in the very center, and there's so much empty space up and down here. So what you do is you go to the edit portion. This is actually the edit page. Sometimes it'll look a little different on your software depending on what you're using, but you go here. Now we're not messing with the audio too much. We're gonna just minimize that a little bit down here. And we're going to go to our background video, which is the very first one. It's kind of the same way. It works the same way as if you're making art on, Krita, which is another free software. But basically, your very first layer is going to be in the background. So as you can see, when I start to zoom, I have just this one selected. When I start to zoom, you're going to see the very background come forward a little bit. And the reason I'm zooming kind of a lot is because this is just going to be for the background. This is really just to fill the empty space here. It's not going to really provide much of any other, purpose rather than filling in that space and making it just look a little nicer. Depending on the types of games that you might play, you might zoom a bit less on this one or zoom a bit more on the main gameplay. I've done Cuphead gameplays where I literally have the whole screen in the middle because Cuphead is kind of like a very, you focus on everything on the screen, and then the background was just there to, like I said, to make it look pretty. But in this case, it's Minecraft. We're going to be going back to the edit page and going to our second thing. Actually, what we're going to do, okay, so it's just a little bit out of order here, only because it's going to basically be this one I might even hide completely for now, because I don't even know if I'm going to be using a fourth layer of the video. We're going to be focusing on the background, the actual main gameplay, and my face cam. So I'm going to crop my face cam first. This is on top, as you can see, literally since it's up here, this layer is going to be on top of this. So as you can see, when I zoom in on this one, it's changing this one, and then there's even another one here. That's this one right here. As you can see that it changes it there behind this, but we could actually, we could just, let's say we accidentally do anything, we could Control Z, and it changes it back, or you could always reset them over here on the right. This always resets everything. You could just reset it as many times as you want. If you like completely mess up and so, oh crap, you could just reset it up here. But we're going to be focusing on the face cam. Now we want to get the face cam where it's in a spot where we want to have the viewer be able to focus on it. So we're moving the position here. I could zoom in a little bit more just to get a better picture of it for me to crop it. Now cropping is so that it cuts out the other part of the video that you don't want. So you crop just until, or you could even crop closer or more farther away, whatever you need to do for your video to make it look nice. You crop it, crop the top there. You can see you could also move the slider manually. That's like a quick crop, and then go here and you could drag to do it like a little bit more exact. You could also input the number, I think, but I like dragging just to keep it like, nice and smooth there. You don't want to cut it too much or too little. You want to make it where it cuts basically the thing. And actually my cam was on the bottom, so as you can see, when I start cropping the bottom, it cuts off my cam right away. So you leave that all the way at 0. And I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast, but you could always rewind. If you need any clarification, you could always leave a comment or ask me a question in the comments there. But yeah, so now we have our face cam cropped out here. As you can see, I could like zoom in more or less. So you don't want it to be too big. Obviously, if you have it huge, then this is basically the whole, depending on the content you're making, you could have your face cam pretty large, but we don't need it that close. Let's zoom out a little bit. For TikTok and hover, I usually go to the top. I default putting my face cam to the top because at the bottom, there'll be the description here and there's icons here. So you don't want much here in the bottom. You usually want to put it at the top. Some people usually still put it at the bottom. That's fine. And low key, it's usually fine because the person will still be able to see you behind the text. But, I usually default to putting my camera at the top and the gameplay will be here. Now, one last thing that I wanted to change is actually the main gameplay. I clicked on this middle one here, the middle layer, and you can just zoom in just a little bit. Now here's what I do. Look at that. I zoomed in just past my face cam and, past my logo on the left or whatever. And look at how clean that looks. I mean, I barely even did anything. And look at how this looks now. You see what I'm doing, the main gameplay. You see my face cam. And now, okay, so here's the only problem. You didn't see, I mean, if you play Minecraft, you know what just happened, right? You know that there was a freaking creeper or, whatever. And it says it right here at the bottom too. It says I was blown up by a creeper. If, let's just say, I want to show that, right? Let's just put this here. Now, this is the fourth layer of the video. As you can see, it came up again right here. I actually hit it by saying disable or enable the track here. Oh, that's the wrong one, sorry. So I was enabling and disabling my face cam here. But I go here and I could actually enable or disable this fourth track that I put here. So what I'm going to do is And by the way, I'm not cutting the actual gameplay that much. If I wanted to cut, I could go back here, and let's just say I wanted to cut here. I could cut the entirety of the clip or just one of the layers. Now this is where it's going to come in handy for cutting where I want the creeper to come in. So let's go back to the part where I actually die here. You start here. Let's back up just a little bit. It went a little quick there. If you're seeking here, it goes a little quick. Seek very, very slowly here. So you see how, like, I just go for the part where I start hearing, like, basically the hissing of the creeper where it's about to blow up. And so what we do is we're going to enable that track. And you could even barely see it here. It's behind my chat. It's behind my face cam. But let's just say from about that point, when I turn around and start hearing it, I want to see that in the video, right? Let's just say I started about right there. That's when you start hearing the thing. You go back to the cut section of the software, right? You go here, and I have this selected, but that's actually, you have to be careful because when you're going back and forth in this software, it's not going to select the one you had over here. I actually have my video 4 selected. So it's video 4. So I got to select video 4, right click here, and I cut. Boom. Backspace or delete will actually drag the other content this way towards the other content. If you hit backspace, I believe it just leaves it where it is. So that's what you want if you want to leave everything synced up. There are other times where you might want to take a clip, cut, and copy and paste it in another spot. And that's a little bit different. It's a little bit more advanced, but you don't have to worry about that too much right now. So I'm going to go back to the edit. And I think I just want to show where the creeper blew me up. So let's go this way. Boom, right there. So if I do that, so right there, I basically don't even see the creeper. I don't even see it, but I do want this small part of it in the video. So I'm going to go back to the cut. And now that's a good thing about going back and forth here. It does save your place. It saves your place in the video. So you go back here, make sure that the right video is selected, the one that we obviously cut here. You can see that's cut there. Right click and cut again. And don't worry, you could always undo. Just, try not to save if you do too many changes, but I am going to save really quickly just to make sure I save. Minecraft WTF. Gonna save that real quick. And we're gonna delete this section over here that we don't want. So we're gonna actually backspace that. And boom. Now we have this. Now what do we do with this? We know that we want to show the video. We know that we want to show the creeper blowing us up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in on just that. And maybe not that much, but I'm gonna crop a little bit at the top here. Maybe crop the bottom. And see, now you see just this. You see just the creeper. And we could even maybe crop a little bit on the oh, sorry, not the right. That was wrong. Go back on that. You could also reset that here. Crop on the left. And see, it took a while for it to get all the way over here, but you can see where it's there. And then, you just double check it, see what happens. And you see how you can barely see the creeper, but maybe I want to make that more, more pronounced or whatnot. So you zoom in a little bit and bring it up. You can make it as big as you want. You can make it as small as you want. This, I want to kind of make it big, make sure that the viewer sees it. And we'll see how it works. Maybe I'll change it in a little bit. But we're going to zoom in until it kind of fills the screen a little bit. Now let's see how that looks. And you see, it's barely for a second, but if it's in the middle of the screen, the viewer can't really miss it. You literally, you kind of have to see it. And it's like just for a second. Let's see how it looks on the full screen here. Let's just see. You see, and you could barely even see what happened, but you did see the creeper for a second. And that's just one little way that you could, add in a little baby corner of your video and make it look very big and pronounced. So let's see the finished product here. Now I might still cut this down and make it a little shorter, but let's just try it looking at it here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I could go on and maybe on a side note, I do like to leave a little bit of space in the beginning. And what I mean by space is you play the video and nothing really happens in the very beginning, right? Those literally, what, 3 or 4 seconds, right? We're literally at 3 seconds. This very beginning of the video can be used to maybe put a couple words here. Maybe you could add a subtitle here. On TikTok, you could actually just add subtitles right on the app, which is really convenient. But if I want to add my own subtitles, I could do that in this program if I really want to. I could go here and I have these saved as my favorites. I could put a subtitle here, and just show that here. But I don't have to do that right now. But those literal 3 seconds could just be used to be like, unfortunate Minecraft, or you know, like just bad luck or something. It could just say something funny. It could be like the premise of the video. You can use it for whatever you want. And then yeah, and that's basically it. I mean, you could see it's literally what we have, not even 20 seconds. It's not even a 20-second video, and I could even cut it down more. A good tip that I heard from someone else is to make sure you save your project and then just wait on it. Sit on it a little bit, maybe, close out the program, come back to it, and watch it again. Watch it in full screen again. Would you watch this? If you came across this on TikTok, would you watch it and laugh? Like, watch it again. And like I said, would that make you laugh? Would it make you be like, oh shit? Or would it be like, oh damn, like whatever kind of moment you're trying to capture, whether it be a jump scare or a funny moment? Think about that for yourself. Would you watch this if it was someone else's content? And really just ask yourself that, and maybe you could even cut it down. Maybe you need to make it shorter. There was recently a video that I made on YouTube where the video actually came out to almost 40 minutes. And I realized that I didn't have to say all the things I was saying. I was kind of going off on tangents and stuff like that. I cut it down to a 13-minute video, from almost 40 minutes to 13 minutes. Now, this is only a 20-second video, but I could maybe make it a 10-second video or a 15-second video, something like that. I could actually like maybe cut down the beginning a little bit. But you want at least of those few seconds to explain what the video is. Maybe just like, you could even put like, wait for it, or watch until the end. Sometimes that makes people want to watch until the end, and it's only 20 seconds. They'll see that it's a really quick video and they might watch it. So anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope that this helped you. If you have any questions or if I missed anything, comment down below. Ask me any questions you need. This is a very basic tutorial on how to make your video look like this for TikTok. You can use this for hover. I do suggest saving the raw file of your edit here, and then if you're going to add it to TikTok, that's fine. You could always add subtitles and add sounds or music to it right on TikTok. But try not to just download your video from TikTok and then upload that to Hover, because then it has the TikTok logo and people see that and they're just like, you just basically uploaded a TikTok to Hover. Or if you put it on YouTube Shorts and you see it, it turns some people off. It's not really a big deal in my opinion, because it is still content that you created. But some people look at that and they say, I don't know, or whatever. So you want it to go from probably the original file to YouTube, to TikTok, to Hover, to whatever other platform. There's even times where I've made a YouTube short of this style of my channel trailer. So, you could reuse media, but try not to just copy paste it from the other platform to the other. You want to actually paste it from the original file. That's pretty much the last piece of advice that I have for you. Yeah, and then hopefully you could start making videos like this a little bit. If you have any questions, there are a bunch of great creators out there that, basically taught me, and I'm just trying to make a very rough kind of crash course in how to make a video for TikTok. So I hope this helped you again. And yeah, let me know if this helped you or if you have any questions. Thanks.